Watching Tua and watching Burrow, what did you make of them Saturday night projecting ahead to the draft?
Joe Burrow was the best player on the field. Joe Burrow locked up the Heisman and locked up probably a top 5 draft pick in the NFL. That impressive, because Joe Burrow has done it so many times this year, and now it was on a stage where everyone was watching this football game, and it was like, okay, I've heard about this Joe Burrow guy, but what is he about? The pocket movement, the playing in space, the quick reaction throws, the athleticism, and the greatest part of his game, and I'm telling you, this will transfer. He takes so many negative plays that are going to be what looks to be a sack or a 4 or 5 yard loss. It's not like he gets back to the line of scrimmage. He turns it into big plays. That's Steve Young's a Hall of Famer. Just watching him play, the slipperiness, the watery, the fluid aspect of his game, and then still the ability to throw from different platforms and body positions. It reminds me a lot of his game. He's been unbelievable all year.
If you've not followed closely, he did not come from nowhere. This was a much-touted prospect in the state of Ohio who got beat out at Ohio State by Dwayne Haskins. He was on Ohio State. He got beat out by Haskins. He transfers down to LSU, and now he's having this magical run. How about on the other side, Rex? What did you see from Tua on Saturday night?
Oh, I mean, look, he only threw for 400 yards. Are you kidding me? He clearly wasn't healthy.
Right.
He fumbled the ball away early in the game. But this guy right here, here's what I see about him. Who's going to be the first guy taken? I love Joe Burrow. I mean, obviously. But I'm still taking Tua. Why? Because I've seen it over more than just this year. Mm-hmm. It's been several years. Ever since that kid played as a freshman, won the national championship, I've seen it from him. He's a big-time player. You can't go wrong with either one of them. It'd be interesting if the Redskins, do they take Burrow if he's there, and let's see who beats out who this time.
Burrow versus Haskins, boy, that would be really something. Oh. But it is a worthy point to bring into the conversation which teams will be thinking quarterback at the end. We'll get there. How about Tua, though, in your perspective? Because here's a guy who I give him more credit in this loss than for most of the wins I've seen from him, to play as physically hobbled as he was, whatever the word I'm looking for is, and still to show up the way he did. I give him a lot of credit.
You said it perfectly. I totally agree, because here's the thing that people, LSU's got a really good defense too. Secondary-wise, they've got Fulton, they've got Stingley, and they've got Delpit. Those are 3 legit NFL secondary players. And to do that with the start that he had, with the pressure that was on, and play as tough as he did, I think that's maybe something that people who don't necessarily know or pay attention to Tua or Alabama think oh, is Tua, is he injury prone, or is he soft? To play tough like that, I was impressed.
Rex, you know what happened the last time LSU beat Bama in Tuscaloosa? They wound up playing again in the national championship game. That could easily wind up happening here.
They just lost to the best team in the country, or one of the 2 best teams in the country, with a quarterback who had surgery 2 weeks ago. I actually thought that Alabama helped themselves in the national perception, because everyone had talked about, well, Alabama's played nobody. Alabama's schedule is so weak. Well, again, they just played one of the better teams in the country with a quarterback that was coming off of ankle surgery to the last possession of the game. And they spotted them 10, right? They went down 10-0 real quickly. And so Alabama helped themselves. They're absolutely still in the college football playoff race.
What say you, Rex Ryan?
No, you don't want... you want me? All right, I'm going to tell you. First off, absolutely. 100% they should be in it. LSU should be in it. And Clemson should be in it. Don't ever put Penn State ahead of Clemson, for the love of God. Are you kidding? Look, and the guys from Minnesota, row your boat down there to Clemson, get beat by 40, okay? So stop it already.
His name is PJ Fleck.
Yeah, whatever. You could throw back in there and, put Ohio State in there if you want to. They'll get beat by 37-0 like they did last time they played Clemson in the playoffs. The 3 best teams, let's not ruin it. Put those 3 in there, and then put whoever, you think.
Can I play devil's advocate here? And to me, the problem I've always had with the eye test is that this is not figure skating or another sport that is judged, right? You're supposed to actually base these things on what people accomplished. Alabama will go through their season, assuming they win out. Their best win will be Auburn. Their second best win will be Texas A&M. What does it say about the rest of the country if you're just looking at it and saying, well, they look like one of the 4 best teams, so we're putting them in, regardless of the fact that they really didn't beat anybody?
It's a fair argument, but you have to weigh the fact of, are they one of the 4 best teams? Do you believe that they're one of the 4 best teams in America? And I know schedule matters, but listen, if LSU wins the SEC and Ohio State wins the Big Ten, if Clemson wins the ACC and Oklahoma beats Baylor, right? Then you're looking at Bama beating Auburn, and so it'll come down to Bama, Auburn, and really Oklahoma. Which one of those one-loss teams is the best?
Or one of those teams from the Pac-12. I agree with you. I think they will wind up getting in.
We're so glad you're watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports and analysis, download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, make sure you subscribe to ESPN Plus. We'll see you there.